morning, everyone. My name is Jordan Eller. I'm a Community Services Manager here at Alta California Regional Center, and welcome to Coffee with Community Services here on November 7th. Um, Before we get started with the agenda, we'll do some introductions, but just to let you guys know what we have for our agenda today. We're going to have our sign of the week and Deaf Culture 101 with Michael. He's also going to share some information about some communication card workshops we have coming up. Carly will be letting us know about the Microenterprise fair that's coming up. We also have Nicole Nielsen from Case Management who's going to share about Santa Day. It's that time of year, right? We're starting to talk about Santa Day. We also want to remind folks about the board meeting we have coming up. DDS released a new directive regarding restraints and the SIR requirements for that. So I'll just give a brief update on that. And then, if our time permits, we'll take a look at our events calendar. So in regards to CSS staff that are here today, we'll scan through and see who we have. Good morning to Christine Hobbs, vendor coordinator. We got Scott Barr. Scott Barr is our quality assurance manager here in the community services department. And good morning to Tom. And I see Carol Wilhelm on. Good morning to Carol. And we have Alicia and both Dee Dee from Community Services. Good morning. And we have, of course, Miss Helen Neary, Community Services Manager, and also Miss Michelle Duchesne, Community Services Manager. Good morning, ladies. And I see that we have Marty on and Carly. And we also have Brandy. Good morning. And I see Miss Jessica and Alejandra. I also see my vendor coordinator, Linda White. Good morning, Linda. And we have Rhonda Phillips on, our housing specialist. Good morning to Dana, client services manager. We also have Zach, John's steady, the reliable personal assistant. Yes, his executive assistant. And good morning to Shauna and our very own one and only Megan Kwolek, our forensic specialist. Good morning, Megan Kwolek. And we have Beverly on from Community Services. Good morning to Denise Hopkins from Residential Community Services. And I see Sammy Lynn is on from our Vital Records desk. Good morning to Sammy. And good morning to two of my CPP resource developers, Christy Schaefer and Virginia Gabby. I also see that we have Miss Jaslyn on. Good morning, Miss Jaslyn. So I want to actually turn it over really quick to Miss Michelle Duchesne, who has a special announcement.
Hi, thank you, Jordan. Yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know it's with bittersweet that we kind of announced that our longtime lead specialist, Jason Scantleberry, has accepted a management position in our case management. So we're happy for him. He'll do an excellent job. And I wanted Jason, so he starts that role on the 1st of December. Just like Zach, he's been trusty and reliable. And I know that we couldn't do this job without, and we're going to have to figure it out. So I wanted to kind of turn it over to Jason since he only has a couple more copies with us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Yeah, I'm going to be the new client services manager in our growth unit starting December 1st. So I'm not going very far. I'll just be down the hall from where I'm currently at right now. But I'm definitely looking forward to this new role. And it's very sad to leave community services. It will be exactly 5 years that I've been with community services, and I've learned a lot. And I really enjoy our department, and I enjoy working with all of you providers. So, but I'll still be around, so you can always reach out to me.
Thank you so much, Jason. Yes, we are very, very blessed to have you. So we're very excited for your advancement. So kudos to you. All right, so now I will turn it over to Michael for our sign of the week in Def 101. Michael, I am going to pin you really quick for the audience here. I know you'll have to adjust your pins, but I'm going to spotlight you for everybody.
Perfect. Okay, good morning. All right, our signs of the week. So next week we're going to be having a holiday. It's Veterans Day. Last year I taught some signs focus on Veterans Day. This week we'll focus on different branches. So we'll have Army, Navy, and Marine. All right, so our first one, the sign for army. I'll give it a little explanation. It'll help it to be easier to remember how to sign it. So the army typically uses guns and they hold them with a specific stance, and that the sign is connected to that. So you're going to go into your A hand shape. Your dominant hand is going to be on top, non-dominant under that. And you're going to tap on the side. You tap 2 times. So that shows the gun and the stance they have when they are holding a gun. Our second sign is Navy. It can be a little bit more of a complex sign. So the Navy has a uniform where they have the attachments for the pants. So you're going to do we'll use the 3 fingers. So you're going to do it on your waist. So it's like the suspenders. I know it's a little awkward with me standing, but I want to show you it's on the waist. It's like those suspenders, and that's Navy. Our third is Marine. So this is the sign. And it's this sign because they have a unique thing on their uniform. It's called the Align Rank Insignia. So this is special pins that they have. So that is why this is the sign. So you start with your 5 hand, you close it a little bit, and you tap on your neck. And that is also, you tap 2 times. All right, we'll go over those again. So we have Army. Our second one is Navy, like the suspenders. And then we have that Army rank, or we have that ranking insignia for Marine. And I'll send that link so that you can all practice more if you'd like. It helps us to honor veterans for Veterans Day. All right, for Deaf Culture 101, I thought I could take the chance to discuss something specific with you. And the topic this week will be what happens if an interpreter isn't a good match for whatever deaf individual that is being worked with. So communication access for deaf and hard of hearing individuals is vital. Maybe you know of a deaf person and you know their communication style and their language preference. You know what their tone is, like we said, that style and the delivery of their message. And you notice that there's an interpreter who is voicing for this deaf person, and you're realizing it's not matching what their tone usually is. And you might feel a little worried about offending the deaf person or the interpreter if you say something and say, oh, this doesn't feel like a good match to me. That's completely understandable. But what should I do if I notice this? So if you aren't sure how to approach a deaf person and tell them this information, the reminder is that it is very important to, because it impacts the strength of their message. It supports communication access. And you're giving them that information so that the deaf person can decide what to do with that interpreter. So that deaf person can know the information and decide to go ahead and take action or not. Because they can't hear the interpreter and what they are voicing or saying, they don't know if it's accurate or not. Maybe the interpreter is misunderstanding or having a specific challenge. Maybe they're interpreting misinformation and you notice that. Go ahead and approach the deaf person. You can just say something simple and polite. You just say, I noticed the interpreter is struggling or maybe is not able to follow what you are saying exactly. And we appreciate that. The deaf person can then make a decision of what to do next. And if we don't say something to the deaf person, maybe we say, oh, it's probably fine. That could make the deaf person look wrong. It could be inaccurate because maybe that interpreter is misunderstanding or providing misinformation or giving a wrong impression about the deaf individual who is speaking because of the inaccurate interpretation. And I want to emphasize, not having a good match, that does not mean that that is a lousy interpreter. Maybe this deaf person's style or communication preference is unique. Maybe it's regional, or they are using specific slang, and the interpreter just doesn't know the terminology. And that could lead to it not being a good fit, not that they are a bad interpreter. So if you pick a strong match, you really want to know the deaf person. You want to know what their style is. And I'll give you a few good examples of interpreters who are excellent matches for a deaf individual and some poor matches. A good example is if a deaf person is signing using American Sign Language, they sign very quickly and the interpreter is able to keep up. They're able to match their tone. They are providing an accurate message. So like if, for example, if you're trying to deliver a joke, is the audience understanding my joke and are they laughing at the appropriate time? An example of a poor match could be if I'm signing quickly and I have very specific vocabulary that I'm using. Maybe it's a PowerPoint and I'm giving this terminology and the interpreter is not using the correct word or they are too delayed. They're using a lot of ums, uhs, pauses, and the deaf person is just doing their presentation and they're falling really behind. That's an example of a poor match. So if you know an interpreter is a good match, you can actually talk to the interpreting agency and set up what's called a preferred interpreter list for future events, which is a very nice feature. You reach out, and then that same thing for a poor match. If they're not matching the style, you can let an agency know that, and they have a list of people that they prefer to work with. For your clients, maybe the client doesn't want to express themselves, but you can tell they're not understanding. You see their style and their communication access, and you feel that interpreter was not a good match. Go ahead and let the agency know, and they can try to find someone who might be a better fit for them. And when you tell them that the interpreter is not a good match, most interpreting agencies will document that on that preferred list and then do not assign list for that specific deaf person. If you want a preferred example moving forward, for example, if I have a presentation or an event and I want that presentation to go smoothly, I have about 10 preferred interpreters on my list personally. And for scheduling purposes, it's best to ask for a preferred interpreter about a month in advance to give time to schedule. If it is last minute, you might not have any of your preferred interpreters available for that date. If one of your preferred interpreters is not available, that's okay. You can look at who is available, who might be able to come for the presentation. Maybe it's someone who's known me for a while, and we can support each other and make sure that the presentation runs smoothly and that everything is clear. And so in closing, that communication access, as we know, is so important. Making sure we have clear interpretation. Don't be afraid to let me know if you notice that an interpreter is not a good fit. I appreciate the information. So moving on, just to talk about those communication card workshops. So a few months ago, I, along with Hubert, our emergency response coordinator, were working together and had a discussion about developing communication cards as a general resource, making sure that everyone can have these communication cards available. That could be at home, a day program, employment program, really various settings. So we went ahead and developed these communication cards with different icons. So we developed this, we got feedback from deaf consumers to help us edit those. And now we have formally printed communication cards. Those are posted on the Alta California Regional Center resources list. Let me go ahead and show you that right now. Okay, so you see we have the heading for communication cards, and then we have these in different languages. These are PDF format. So you have English, Hmong. You can pick your preferred language. Let me go ahead and click English. And then these are what the communication cards look like. So these are readily available as a PDF. And then we have different categories. So we might have medical support needs, basic needs, anything to do with an emergency. And then we also have one that's my own prompts. So you can add your own icons or anything that you know is an important need for your situation. So we are going to be hosting and providing a workshop. This is for deaf and hard of hearing or nonverbal individuals who cannot speak, can't sign maybe. So this is really who we're targeting. So showing how to add those icons, different situations that might arise. So that's what that workshop will talk about. I will make sure to share the link. Let me see. I can show you what that looks like. So this is if you're interested in signing up for the workshop for communication cards for clients, you can put in your client's name, first and last, phone number, email, and what preferred contact method, what date you're interested in. So we have November 18th, 2025. We might need to add another date if we feel like we don't have time, if it's getting a little close, but we'll see how the signups go, and then we can set up a different date if needed for those who really want to attend. If you need an ASL interpreter for the workshop, you can click yes or no. And then will there be any support people who attend? Be parents, anyone who supports the client, just so we know for numbers. And then the last question, we wanted to get a feel for what people are most interested in learning from this workshop. So maybe it's how to fill out the communication card, how to use an emergency card, how to prepare a go kit with including those cards. So you can pick more than one option if you'd like, but we'd like to be a little more prepared when we present this workshop. So I encourage all of you, if you know a client who is deaf and hard of hearing or nonverbal that you feel would benefit, go ahead and help them sign up for that workshop. We'd love to see you. And then I will make sure to send that link. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Michael. There was actually one question for you in the chat. I don't know if you'd be willing to show us the sign for Air Force. Just one other branch of the military they wanted to ask about.
Absolutely, I can do that. I have no problem doing that. So for Air Force, it's similar to the sign for Army, Where Army, you are showing like you're holding that gun, but Air Force is with airplanes. So you're going to do a 5-hand shape. You're going to fold those two middle fingers in, and it's going to look like an airplane flying over. So you sign military, and then you sign the plane to show that it's Air Force.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And I do know that Carol Latillo is on with us, and she would like to share some upcoming events. So Carol, just let me find you here and make you a co-host so you can share your screen. Okay, just 1 second here. Get that set up.
Awesome. Thanks,
Yeah.
Jordan.
Oh, there you are right there. Okay, perfect. Did you already make her a co-host? Okay. Okay, you have the floor.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, guys. I just wanted to share, I know Kate has been sharing a little bit about the trainings that we have coming up, but I did want to be able to share with everybody our ACRE training. We received an HCBS grant from a few different regional centers across California, and so we have combined and are providing a few different trainings that'll be open to all four of the different regional centers, and then some trainings that are just specific only to ALTA providers and families. So I popped in the chat a couple flyers. One is for an upcoming Social Security training. So it'll be a webinar style, basic work incentives, how your benefits are affected by work, etc., to really help dispel some of the myths around that for providers, for individuals they're supporting. We're going to have one of them that's really geared toward and specific to families and individuals, but everybody is welcome at any of them. Case managers as well, because oftentimes you guys are getting, case managers are getting those questions about work as well. The other really exciting piece of the Social Security part is that after somebody's taken that initial webinar training, they're able to sign up an individual that they're supporting and a person from their agency that is supporting them around work and around their benefits to do some benefits advisement and to kind of walk alongside Pam, who is our benefits specialist, walk alongside her in the process. So we're hoping to develop capacity within different organizations throughout the Alta catchment area, for people to feel more comfortable helping give people information about Social Security benefits and working. And then I'm going to share my screen and share a website that we have. Are you seeing a website now?
We sure are.
Awesome. So we are doing these trainings in collaboration with IRI, which is an organization down in Southern California. And you can see the 4 regional centers that are involved: Inland, North Los Angeles, South Central Los Angeles, and Alta. If you scroll through this website, it's www.iri-pec.org. If you scroll through here, you'll see the different trainings that are going to be coming up. Some of them are not posted yet. They'll say coming soon. But I wanted to just bring people's attention to them. It's a really great opportunity. All of these trainings are free for providers, for individuals. And so I am hopeful that HCBS funds will continue to be available over the next few years, but given the state of our federal government, who knows? Or who knows when they would be distributed. So I just encourage people to take advantage of these trainings while we have them available. The ACRE trainings, those are customized employment trainings. Those are 40-hour trainings. We're going to have 4 or 5 of them over the next year and a half in this area. The paper to practice implementation mentoring is something that providers would be able to access after they take the ACRE training, and they want some more in-depth support with actually walking through that discovery process with an employment seeker. So they're able to really get hands-on mentoring through that process. And we're going to do that in a cohort fashion. So you would be doing that alongside 20 other employment specialists in the area that are also working through that process. So hopefully developing capacity, developing teamwork and some support for each other to go through that process. Person-centered career plan development, the Coordinated Career Pathways program requires a person-centered career plan. And we have worked with IRI and some outside subject matter experts to create a training guideline and a kind of standardized person-centered career plan that is really pretty robust in order to help people really harness that process and be able to complete those. So we'll be doing some trainings on those. We'll be doing some paid internship programs. So how to use the paid internship program to transition to CIE. And that'll be the content of those paid internship programs. And then the Social Security benefits training and technical assistance advisements. So if you scroll down, you will get to see all of the different trainings. So under Social Security and benefits, both the individualized technical assistance that you can sign up for and the webinars that you can sign up for. The ACRE trainings, and then it will go through all of the different trainings that are available. If you, oops, so sorry. Go back. If you click on any of these trainings, it'll take you to a sign-up sheet, but then also down below that sign-up sheet, you will see some areas where you can click through basically a calendar and see what the next training is that's coming up. So just encourage people to sign up. The next training is the Social Security training in December. And the ACRE training in January is already full, but you can see the next trainings that will be available. So Social Security, December 16th. I encourage people to sign up soon because all of the Social Security trainings will be available to all 4 different regional centers. That way we offered those trainings a few more times than just once, giving people more options to take them. So, and I'm happy to answer any questions people have.
Thank you so much, Carol. Yeah, folks, if you have questions, please go ahead and just unmute yourself. Or if you think of one later, you can put it in the chat if Carol will still be on. But like Carol mentioned, right, these are great opportunities, and we can never guarantee the future of what will hold for grants, right? So take it while you can, take advantage of these great resources. And Carol, I appreciate you always just being such a champion for our system and helping to get, other vendors the support and the training that they need. So thank you so much.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your support to be able to do it.
Yeah. Any questions, folks? I don't see anything new in the chat, but if you do, like we said, just go ahead and put it in there for Carol, or Carol, maybe if you want to put your email in there in case people need to reach out.
This is Michael. I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead, Michael.
Sure. So I'm curious if that is a training that I would like to attend or anyone else would like to attend, would sign language interpreters be possible for accessibility?
Yes, we are working on figuring out our interpretation pieces for Spanish, particularly. But yeah, if there's a place on the registration to let us know what accommodations people might need.
Okay.
Great.
Great. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Michael. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it over to Carly. who has an update. And Carly, you are a co-host should you want to share screen.
All right, thank you. I'm sharing now. Jordan, can you let me know if you see my screen?
Yep,
If
it
you're
just
seeing the
popped
flyer?
up.
All right, perfect. So we are happy to announce that we're hosting our Winter Microenterprise Fair on December 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. At the main office. Unfortunately, at this point, we do have much more limited space than we had at the old office. So instead of doing a first come, first serve type thing, we are asking everyone who is interested to submit their application, and then we will select attendees to ensure that we have a wide variety of different vendors. We are still hoping we can maybe get a little extra space than what we currently have. So we're not 100% sure how many we can hold, but it will be more limited than at the old office. This will be going out later today. I did notice at the beginning of coffee that the links were broken, so I hurried to go fix them and get them resent to our training team. So this should be going out shortly, and it will also be posted on our website and our social media pages. But this is always a great event. So even if you're not a client tabling, we encourage everyone to come in and enjoy all the goods and services that our clients are promoting.
Thank you so much, Carly. Does anybody have any questions? And like Carly mentioned, these events are just so great. If you haven't been, we really encourage you to come out. Not only do you get to support individuals with Microenterprise, but you can get some Christmas shopping in or some holiday shopping in if you're somebody who does that. So thank you so much, Carly. Appreciate it. And I know that I think Miss Claus is in the house today with us. We have a Santa Day announcement. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Nicole. Are you there, Nicole? I think I saw you. Mhm.
All right, I'm not muted anymore. That's
Okay.
awesome. All right, everybody. Hi. I'm Nicole Nielsen. I work here in our main office of the regional center, the Alta California Regional Center, which I think is the best regional center. It might be a little biased. And I am here to let you guys know about our lovely Santa Day. I'm coming to you live from the workshop. You can't hear it because they're muted, but the elves are hard at work behind me building all of the popular toys that the kids want this year, which is video games, right? That's all they want. I'm living with 3 boys and that's all they want is video games, and they're not cheap. So anyways, yeah, I see the laughs and the hearts. You guys know if you have kids under 21 or over 21, they're on video games. It's an obsession. And if anyone has any ideas how to get them to be interested in going outside and getting off the video games, send me a private email, please. I beg of you. Anyway, back to the point. Here we are, Santa Day. We host this event every year at our regional center. The last year and this year, we're actually hosting off-site just due to space constraints and the need for having people to have clear entrances and exits. Last year, now I'm Mrs. Claus, so I get to sit on the bench all year. I work all year long, and then my prize is I get to sit on the bench and hold babies. Some of these babies are 80 years old, but they're all clients of the regional center. And so I don't actually get to see the event taking place, but the feedback I got last year was it was a circus out there. We had tons of visitors. The news outlet that came reported 4,000 people came. I'm not sure that's accurate, but some of the people that were working the event said it felt accurate. So we're just going to go with that. Okay. This event has grown so much. When I started working on Santa Day I didn't start when I first came here, but about 14 years ago, I took over, and we went from about 300 people to the now reported 4,000. It has grown exponentially. There are now a lot of adult clients that come. They're very excited. We usually do some giveaways this year. I'll show you guys. We've started an animal series. So last year we had a little Alta lion that we gave away to represent the kings. The year before that we did a bear. And then you guys will get the inside scoop. But this year we're doing this cute little elephant with his little Alta shirt. And this will be what everybody gets when they come see Santa and Mrs. Claus. They'll walk away with one of these. We also have blanket giveaways. So throughout the year, one of our staff has some friends that are busy. They're the elves crocheting blankets, handmade crocheted blankets. We had about 800 of them last year and they went like hotcakes. People were so excited because each one of them is handmade and individual. So with that said, if any of you have talents or friends who want to make donations to the event, please feel free to contact me. My name is here on the chat and it's spelled correctly. It's Neilsen. It's a little tricky, but it's spelled exactly how it sounds. So feel free to message me if you want to be involved. The event this year is going to be held on Friday, December 19th. I'm going to repeat that for you. Friday, December 19th. We normally do it the second Friday, but this year we're going to do it the third because we're hosting offsite at the Scottish Rite Masonic Center, which is located just down the street from the main entrance of the Sac State campus. It's on what would be Carlson and H Street. And it's a pretty big event center. So if you guys haven't been there, I'll let you know that last year we were able to host about 12 or 13 tables or booths, we call them. And this year, I think we have room for 17 to 20. So I'm really excited about that. We are opening it up. Our booth application is opening up to anyone interested in setting up. The requirements, I do have an application form in front of me. The requirements are really just don't do anything crazy or outrageous. I mean, unless it's fun, but nothing that wouldn't be in line with our agency mission. Okay. And then we usually have giveaways at these booths. It's not a requirement, but it definitely gets people to come by and talk to you about whatever is going on in your world. It's not a vendor fair. So I want to be really clear that it's not an opportunity to advertise. But if you had a giveaway and it had a sticker with your agency name or something on it, that would be fine. That's not a problem. I have tiers for people if they want to donate. I can share that information with you if you want to reach out to me. Herman Kothi is my cohort. He is off in some foreign land right now on vacation. God bless. We all need those days. So I don't have all the nitty-gritty details, but Herman's put together a pretty comprehensive sheet. So if there's anybody who wants it, let me know. I can reach out and send it to you and we can answer questions later. But the event is a pretty much all-day event. So again, it's Friday, December 19th, and it's going to be from 10 o'clock until about 4 o'clock. And then we have a hard cutoff at 4 because we have to set up in the morning and clean up in the afternoon. I guess the event center doesn't want us to hang out all weekend. That's fine. I live just down the street. So for me, it's very convenient. I can just put everything in my wagon and take it right on home. I can't say that for everybody else, but when they said Scottish Rite Masonic Center, I was like, yes, please. Let's get convenience for me. Just Mrs. Claus sometimes gets a little bone thrown her way, and that was mine. So does anybody have questions about the event? Has anybody been to the event? Okay, I see Alejandra. She's nodding yes.
Some hands. I'm sure there's got to be lots of people who've been to Santa Day on here. Thank you so much, Nicole. Yeah, folks got questions.
Christine's been. We know Christine. Christine is my wizard behind the curtain, you guys. She does everything and anything and gets very little credit for it. So I'd like to send a shout out to you, Christine. You're awesome. Thank you. Anyway, any questions, thoughts, comments, or Christmas jokes are also welcome.
And just to let you know too, Miss Nicole, I did put your email in the chat, and
Thank
Dana
you.
also concurred that it's the best time of year at Alta. So she really hopes that people come out. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Dana. Yeah, Kristen Lunardi and I call it the Super Bowl of the regional center. So we look forward to it every year. And for those of you, if I didn't say this already, I'm a manager now. So I don't get a lot of client interactions unless it's, problems, complaints, which is fine. That's my job. But Santa Day is the day of the year that I get to kind of recharge my batteries and fill up on all the joy from our clients and really get back in touch, hands-on in touch with our clients, what we do, who they are, and and just see that joy. And it really brings me back to center and reminds me why we're here. And it keeps me going on the days that are hard. I think about Santa Day and it flies by every year. The next thing you know, it's just here and we're ready to go. So, and if any of you guys aren't coming to Santa Day, this is my PSA. Start your shopping now because you only have 6 weeks till Christmas, something like that. Yeah.
Nicole, thank you so much. And all your hard work is so appreciated to make this event occur. I see that Carol's got a question. Go ahead, Miss Carol.
Oh, I haven't been in a couple years to Santa Day, but I just wondered, because I know Alta serves, people from birth to death, and Santa is, predominantly the idea of going and seeing Santa is a childhood thing. So I just wondered, like, what are the different activities or different things that adults might be doing at Santa Day, and how are we sort of, thinking about age appropriateness
Yeah.
and those types of things in events like this, just to combat that stereotype of people with disabilities being eternal children and those kinds of things. Just wondered, what are those types of what activities or things do people have to do that are older?
No, that's a great question. So what I would say is everyone has an inner child, regardless of their developmental level. And that's really what we harp on here, is bringing out that inner child and having fun for the holidays. You might be surprised. I welcome you to come to the event, but I have found in the past few years since the pandemic, I have more adult clients who want to come sit on Santa's lap than even the little kids, which I think is really endearing and sweet and special for them. We do have different booths set up throughout the year, or at the event, and they're different every year. So I can't say exactly what we're going to have this year, but some of the things that we've seen in the past are cookie decorating. We've had people who do ornament making. We've had people who just do paintings or cakewalks. And this is stuff that anyone at any age can have a good time doing. We have snacks. Last year, we did find that people were coming to Santa Day and stocking up their pantry. So this year we have an idea on how to combat that and limit the number of snacks that people take. But it's also a social opportunity. So we have the booths set up where there's the cookies and the ornaments and the activities and the games that people can play. Then we have a line to do pictures with Santa and Mrs. Claus. And then we have like a snack area. And that's where we just have tables and chairs set out. We have a lot of our day programs that have drop off. They'll bring their whole group of people, or residential placements. They'll bring their whole family home to the event, drop them off for the day. And we find that people just kind of sit out and hang out and chat and make friends and get to know some other people. So it really is nice that we have people of all ages there, because a lot of the kids, they get real antsy. They want to leave. They don't want to stay all day. They want to come in, do their thing, and get out. But the adult clients kind of come, and it's this social opportunity for them to sit and meet people that they might not otherwise meet.
Great. Thank you so much, Nicole. Yeah, so I hope you guys all can come out on December 19th, right? 10 to 4. And I know, Nicole, that information will be on our events calendar, right? If folks need to see that. And
we just got final approval of our flyer. And so we're going to
perfect.
translate it into all the languages that we have here. And then we'll be posting that on our social media page as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So more to come. We'll continue to provide you updates here at Coffee each week as we get closer to December 19th. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming and sharing today.
All right, you guys. And I know that Thanksgiving is coming first. So I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm thankful for each one of you that has a heart of gold and that has that heart for service to others. Thank you for that. You're really special people. And if you don't hear it today, let me tell you, I appreciate you and you matter.
Thank you so much, Nicole. We appreciate you as well.
All right. Bye.
All right, so Santa Day fun. Okay, so next I'm going to turn it over to Miss Michelle for some quality incentive updates for the QIP for vendors.
Right on. You make QIP follow Santa Day. I don't
I
know if I
know,
can make it
right?
nearly as exciting, but yeah, I just wanted to, Monday was when providers were supposed to be receiving their survey letters. Um, do we have is any provider out here willing to share if they feel they have not? I haven't heard from anyone, so I'm assuming no news is good news and every provider is receiving the surveys that we talked about that they were required. Andrea.
I did receive them, but I had a question because I also received a letter for the health incentive one, which is we don't have a vendorization for any of the service codes that were supposed to be, but I did attend the webinar, so I didn't know if I got it because I did the webinar or if there was a mistake on that end.
Yeah, whatever service codes are on that list that I gave you guys, and I'll share my screen really quick so I can pull that up. What I would do is respond. Hold on, let me share my screen.
Trying to lower my hand, sorry.
Hold on one second. I was going to show the audit stuff, but are you seeing the flyer, Jordan?
We are now, yes.
Okay, perfect. So the service codes I think this
Is
is the
the
one.
prevention and wellness one, and that service
Yeah.
codes for like group homes and care homes, and we don't have
Correct.
that. So
Yeah, so if you're a service code that is on this eligible service codes and it's not listed there, I would respond to the provider directory at dds.ca.gov and just advise them that you received that and that your service code is not part of that
okay.
list. So there are going to be little snafus in it, but just document that. You can always CC your specialist and we'll make sure to save that in your file just to make sure there's no concerns going forward and hopefully they can respond and remove that survey. So again, I will put this is, I put it in the chat, or I think John did last time, but really just talking about the survey. I did see that STEP did not receive one of those. Again, reach out to provider directory at dds.ca.gov to let them know that you have not CCS so that we can also support and follow up with another email on where these are. Everybody should have received the links for what is required by this Monday, the 3rd. And we're talking about provider capacity, prevention and wellness. You'll see the service codes there. And I know, in fact, InAlliance does not offer those service codes. And we have employment requirement as well. One thing also that I wanted to kind of share is I know we've been getting a lot of questions on the fiscal audit. So we are meeting with our accounting department to look at those. So what we're seeing from the department is that they are going to be looking back at the fiscal year and seeing if providers if they were required to submit a fiscal audit, that they did indeed submit a fiscal audit, or they have a approved exemption. So I just wanted to share this form with you. This is the approved exemption form. And if you reach out to your specialist and you have questions, they can provide this to you. I just want to make aware and kind of look at the two different options that you can request an exemption. And the first one is that we're granting a 2-year exemption based on the independent audit review from the previous year that resulted in an unmodified opinion or an unmodified opinion and additional communication. And then there's an exempt is for granting a 2-year exempt based on the audit review. Prior year resulted in qualified opinion, but issues are not material. And it looks like the regional center will work through what the issues were raised and they still grant the exemption. So this is something that our accounting department completes and reviews. So we can, if you feel that you've met one of these and you feel that you qualify for an exemption for that fiscal audit, please reach out to your specialist and we can provide this information to you to send. And on this documentation is where you would send the email link for where you would send those.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Do folks have questions? We want to drop that in the chat too, Michelle. Is that cool?
I will drop the QIP in the chat and
Yeah,
then special. Yes. Yep.
Okay, cool. That'd be great.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your assigned specialist or one of us managers here. Thank you so much, Michelle. Appreciate you sharing that and organizing that flyer. It's super helpful. So folks, we only have a few minutes left, but so some of the agenda items we'll share next week instead of this week, but I do want to share my screen. And just make sure that people are aware of the board meeting that's happening on November 20th. It is the time of year where Alta will be sharing the National Court Indicator Child, Adult, and Guardian Family Surveys. These are the survey results that were completed in fiscal year 23-24. We always love that the public can come and hear this. In addition, there is an email here for feedback. The last day for community input is going to be November 28th. But please join, right, the board meeting, which is the 20th, like I mentioned, from 5 to 7. There are also flyers here in a variety of languages. The event is also on our events calendar with the Zoom information. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and put this link in the chat. So if you would like to attend, or if you want to have that information in any other language, that you guys can access that. I also just quickly, with the couple minutes we have, I do want to share that yesterday we had a successful request for proposal for our fiscal year 25-26 community resource development plan projects, right? We received startup funds this year from the department for an enhanced behavioral support home for children with special health care needs. I mean, for enhanced behavioral support home for children with intensive behaviors and that might have some sexualized behaviors. So I do just want to quickly put in the chat here. Give me just one moment. The website here. Sorry, guys. But we do have a community resource development plan page on our website. And that is where you can find all the information about the EBSH that we're pitching this year. I also want to add that we will be posting the handout that we shared with the public yesterday. It gives the project description and it gives all the applicants the instructions for what they have to submit with their application and their proposal. So I just dropped that in the chat. Our training department is in the process of getting that posted to our CRDP website. So that first link I put in, you can access it there. The other thing is, if you have any questions about these projects, please email Alta Regional at let me put this in the chat. It's RFP@altaregional.org. So my team is going to be monitoring that very closely every day while we are in the process of our RFP. The proposals for this project are going to be due December 3rd at 3 p.m. All that information is on the flyer. We did record yesterday's public meeting, so that is also going to be posted onto our community resource development plan website at that link. So all of that should probably hit the website by Monday or Tuesday. Well, Tuesday's a holiday, so by Monday or Wednesday at the very latest. I also just want to take a moment to say happy Veterans Day weekend to any veterans and thank anyone for their service that might be a veteran that's on. Our office will be closed next Tuesday in observation of the holiday. So I just thank you so much. And if there's anything else, let us know. But for that, I appreciate you coming. Thank you so much. See you guys next week.
Thank you,
John will still be
Jordan.
on vacation next week.
Oh, I just said thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great
Bye-bye.
weekend. Bye-bye.